And welcome once again to another episode of the Horizon Roundtable. I am Bob McDonald, and you can find me on Twitter at Bob McDonald. Jimmy Lemke is somewhere in the vicinity, and you can find him on Twitter at PantherU. As always, you can find us, the show, on Twitter as well at HorizonRT. Today, we're going to change things up a little bit. We have Brian Black on the show today. And Brian, we've been following you. Both Jimmy and I have been following you for a little while here, and we really appreciate you coming on.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for reaching out to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brian, I'm just going to give the floor to you. Now, what Brian has been doing over the course of the last year plus is he's been gathering, he's been collecting jerseys from all of the college basketball teams, all the in Division One. So. Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about how that whole thing started and kind of what your focus has been, what your focus has been on related to that.
So I was in a pretty bad place in early 2017. The first couple of months, just a lot of negativity, a lot of dark things in my life. Between just struggles with my children and my me basically being homeless and having epilepsy, and it just kind of all felt like my world was crashing down. And so I had an opportunity to write a bunch of emails, and I just said, you know what, college basketball is like the thing that has eased my mind over the last 2 years plus while I've had these episodes. And so the connection I have with it clearly, to me, felt like was some sort of coping mechanism. And it the fact that I could focus on it and all the teams, the players, and those associated with it who love it, it just brought a sense of comfort, I guess is a good way to put it. But so I decided to write emails and just be honest. I wrote an individual email out to every single, at the time, 351 different teams, and now 353, adding Cal Baptist and North Alabama this year. So I wrote to all of them, and I got a pretty crazy response at first. I didn't expect, I thought, well, maybe somebody will send me something just to, just to reach out and help me try to stay positive. I mean, that was the main thing to me, is I just wanted to reach out and have somebody tell me that I was doing the right thing and working hard enough to, keep my life on track, struggle, through the struggles and the hardships that I've dealt with, So, that response from all of the schools that have sent jerseys and notes and messages, whether it be from the athletic directors or the coaches, the players, I mean, it makes me cry every time. And I don't know. I never thought I would have this sort of connection with people, that I would be able to make this connection with people as I was growing up. I struggled with it my whole life. So This has been life-changing in so many ways. So, that's how this whole thing started, and it blew up last year when I went in for more extensive testing. So, yeah, and since then, I found out more about my condition, and so going from there, I've got a procedure coming up this next month. So, yeah, so that's obviously been on my mind a lot, because I'll be in the hospital for a long time.
Yeah, I know that I can't speak for Jimmy, but I know that when it was brought to my attention last year, I was kind of struck by, and just looking, and just as you mentioned, by the reaction you were getting from schools of all sizes within Division One. You were getting that reaction, and it was nice to see. It was, you always like to see. You always like to see these stories that of the college basketball community or college athletics in general kind of coming together, and
Right.
having being able to do that, for you to be able to do that and be able to kind of, like I said, bring attention to kind of kind of what you've been going through, and kind of as a way to kind of shed some light where darkness was, essentially. It's a nice story. It's a really, to me, I thought it's been great, and I think it continues to be great. So as far as so how many at this point in time? Obviously, you now have 353 jerseys to collect. Now, again, as you mentioned, with the addition of 2 additional Division I schools, where are you in your journey right now? How many have you collected to this point?
I think last I counted it was 227. I might have to check on that. So what I have open right now is my checklist of all of the ones I have and don't have so far. So I have it just organized by conference. So
Gotcha. Okay.
Last I checked, I'm pretty sure it was 227. I can sort here and try to figure that out as we're talking. But
Sure. Yeah. As far as the Horizon League is concerned, how many of our how many of the Horizon League schools have responded to you? I know last year Cleveland State did. I did see that.
Yeah. So I've got 8 of the 10. Are there 10, right? Please tell me I'm not messing this up. Okay. When you remember when you started that there were 10, but there are now a different 10. And I think I've moved Indy, Purdue, Indianapolis over.
Yes.
Isn't that what it was? Okay.
IUPUI, yes, they are Horizon League school now. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then that's one of the 2 I don't have yet, and then the other one is one I'd really love to, and that is one of my kind of a shout out I want to say is that one of my favorite things to have said lately looking this up is the Boonshoft School of Medicine and Neurology is a big part of that at Wright State University.
Wright State,
so
wow, no kidding.
Yeah, the Raiders, unfortunately,
right.
but I
Interesting.
This thing keeps moving along, and so I just want to reach as many people as possible. And so, a shout out to them and their School of Medicine and Neurology that helps spread hope throughout the epilepsy community to try to save people's lives.
Yeah. So I know their athletic director Bob Grant has blocked Jimmy, but he hasn't blocked me yet. So Bob Grant, if you are in fact listening, please get Brian a jersey. IUPUI is a little different animal. We couple of ago we had Chris Schutte from Mid-Major on, and he's, near as I can tell, he's literally been the only IUPUI person remotely we've been able to talk to. So I'm not really sure how that keeps happening, but it's just one of those weird things. I don't know. It's like finding Bigfoot. Like, and I don't really understand it either. But what are you gonna do? But IUPUI. If we have any of those folks in that vicinity, please, hit up Brian. Jason Gardner, I know you are a Jason Gardner, head coach over at IUPUI. If you got somebody over there, feel free to get in touch with Brian over here, because that's that's one of the things. So once you get to that point where you have, I guess here's my other question. Once you get to, say you finally get to 353, what's your plan after getting to 353?
Number. Oh, sorry. Even before I get there, my dream is to find some way somehow to just go all over the country, especially during college basketball season, and find a way to share my story at games. Like that's the biggest dream I have. And so once I get all 353, that would be amazing. Yeah, obviously coming up with the ways and means to do that is the difficult part, but that's my dream. It's just to spread my message of positivity and hope, and how college basketball brings people together.
Well, I see I see some opportunities there for you. Obviously, that it sounds like you're already kind of gearing up for the follow up. Obviously, you have some things going on in the next month that are going to kind of
Right.
prevent that a little bit. But it's nice to have kind of it's good to have one of those long range goals, especially with the foundation you're building right now.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
yeah. So now you explain a little bit about your condition, epilepsy, and you've talked a little bit
Right.
about you talked a little bit about the I guess you had mentioned that you've learned a little bit more about it, and I want to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, that's there are many out there who are have this condition, and obviously
Right.
there's some there may not the general public may not know enough about it. I mean, yeah, it's 2018, but still
Right.
some awareness is not. It's
Right.
not widespread for some things. So tell us a little bit about what you want everybody to know about your, and even talk a little bit about your struggles with it, and how you've been able to. I mean, well, obviously the Jersey thing is obviously a good way to overcome and kind of cope
Sure.
with that. But
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the kind of your journey as it relates to what you've been how you've been dealing with your condition.
Well, I mean, once I found out I had it, I was shocked, and I'd had some fairly big seizures, and so just kind of coming to grips with that, accepting the fact that okay, this is something that I'm afflicted with, that I'm dealing with, and so just coming to terms with that was the first thing. And I think the hardest part for folks that have epilepsy, 1 in 26 people actually have epilepsy, and it may not be to the same degree, obviously, for everyone, but for me, it's just trying to find something that I can hold on to and keep with me as I go through these struggles. And so that's what I recommend for anybody else that struggles with epilepsy, is to just find something you can hold on to that makes you happy, that can make you laugh, or that you connect with. Sure. Because this is the most important thing, and just find a way to feed off that, and make help other people, give other people, inspire hope in other people, even hope in people that don't have epilepsy.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you mentioned your upcoming surgery. So and you said it's going to be in about a month or so.
It's actually going to be on August 14th is when I go in and get started. Yep. So, and I'll probably be, it's crazy, by the time I come out of the hospital, I think college football will have started. So, yeah. So it's going to be pretty crazy.
So it sounds like it's a little bit you're going to have a little bit of a recovery time afterwards. It's probably going to be like a month of recovery time. Thereabouts. Could be longer, depending on the degree of the procedure. That's possible. I could have to be in intensive care for, at least a day or two, a few days, and then I would have, basically a month of recovery time here. So basically, the first half of the college football season, I would be, unfortunately, at home a lot. It's gonna be rough. But I've got my jerseys here, so there you go.
Even though it's college football, put on the teams, or put on the jerseys. Jerseys of the ones I have. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. But of course, you'll all be and so when basketball when basketball season rolls around, kind of
sure.
Where's that put? What's your kind of train of thought as when basketball season rolls around? I know, for us, obviously, it's a little, we're a podcast, so once basketball season comes up, we'll be talking nonstop about it, even though we've been kind of talking nonstop about it ever since the season ended. But for somebody who's for you. And kind of for you and with the jerseys kind of how is that how's the start of and incidentally, when does basketball season start for you? Does it start at the first game, or does it start like at the first practice, or there's always been a big debate about what constitutes the start of basketball season.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you have Midnight Madness, which a lot of folks, some folks say like media days or something like that. So, it just kind of depends on, that's subjective. For me, like, I try to wear the jerseys as often as possible, so I never feel like college basketball ends for me. But obviously, I try to wear. Eventually, my goal is to get to the point where I can have almost one for every single different day of the year. Now that would probably require me getting in the pool a little bit more, but swimming down a little bit, because that's the unfortunate thing about being at home so much is. It's a little bit more difficult to exercise. Plus, not exactly the safest thing, unfortunately.
No, I understand completely. I mean, that makes sense, and so is there a local team that you root for? Or I think I've seen you tweet it a couple of times, or are you just a fan in general?
I have to admit that I'm an alum of University of Oregon, the Ducks. So that's obviously a given. I have to be, and love being a fan of them. And through all of their struggles, obviously through the Ernie Kent years, was either feast or famine, and mostly famine towards the end. But Dana has built them up from nothing, basically, and last year was a bit of a struggle, but hopefully they'll be back.
I'm sorry, that's Dana Altman, right?
Dana Altman.
We're talking about Oregon, I see.
We are indeed, yes. Brian is an alumni of the University of Oregon.
Correct.
I hear Eugene is beautiful.
It is, yeah. I actually am going to be moving down to Springfield, right next to Eugene, after my recovery. So that's going to be a lot of fun to live a lot closer to Matthew Knight Arena.
There you go.
Do you like the floor?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
I said, do you like the floor of Matthew Knight Arena, the basketball court?
It's gorgeous and innovative. I know some people said they didn't like it or didn't like it at first, but I just, it's kind of, identifiable, and people say, oh, yeah, Oregon's the one with the weird design and the uniforms and stuff, but at least it's an identity. That's what I love about it.
History fan, so.
Also, as far as other local teams, I was fortunate enough to have my amazing girlfriend take me to Portland State Vikings and Portland Pilots games versus Montana State and Loyola Marymount, respectively. So that was a lot of fun. I got to go watch Oregon play Central Arkansas as well. I didn't get to watch any Beaver games. I'll try to go to Gill Coliseum and see one. If there's any Horizon League opponents on any of those schedules for early in the season, I'll do my best to get and play them. I have not, unfortunately, checked what the non-conference schedules are. I'm not sure if all of them have been filled out yet.
Yeah, with the Horizon League, it's been kind of piecemeal as far as putting together some of these non-conference non-conference schedules out. Northern Kentucky is probably the closest to being done at this point in time. Oakland may actually be done. They apparently, I think they might have. As I understand it, they accidentally posted the schedule up when they redid their website, and then they quickly took it down. So the schedule that accidentally came up may or may not have actually been come to the fore. So yeah.
Once it's been leaked and they try to retract it, and it's the actual thing, it's like, why retract it? Like, it's already out there. Everyone has shared it. Like, it's done.
There might be some contract stuff. You never know if
that's probably it. I know. It's just
that's what I'm thinking too.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, yeah. It's like not even a my bad. We didn't do it.
Right.
Hey,
right.
You know what? What are you gonna do? Yes. One of our loyal listeners, Matthew Dudek. I think he tweeted out the screenshots over there, and and he already is in their good graces. I'm not sure that's going to get him any further into his good graces. I don't know.
Oh dear.
I don't know, but once the usually with the Horizon League, typically we've seen we're getting to that point where we're going to start to trickle out more and more of the schedules. Usually the schedules usually most of them get out by the time usually soon after the conference schedule comes out. I know that's been the case for a lot of the schools in the Horizon League over the past couple of years. So I don't know if that's something that they're planning to do now, but I'm hoping maybe they don't wait. I don't know.
There's a Twitter user that does a really good job, kind of bringing all that together in terms of whose non-conference schedules are being filled out.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to plug him or not.
I was planning to. I just can't remember his.
It's the D1 docket.
D1 docket. That's it. Yeah. We got to get that guy on the show.
They do a fantastic job, really. I mean, they put this all together and put it in one place better than anybody else. So.
Actually, I've been on the day. And for those of you who are not aware, who are not familiar with what D1 docket does, he actually puts has created a Google spreadsheet. It's on Google Sheets. And he actually has an entire spreadsheet of all Division I teams, and you can sort it by conference too. And so far, and there's about as of right now, I think there's about 52, 53 schools that have released their non-conference schedules yet. Most of them are high majors, so that makes sense. But usually the mid majors don't. Usually the mid majors wait until a little later on to be able to do that. But it's good because you see some of them are actually kind of piecing, because some of them are piecing together, and some of the mid majors have already put out certain things. Like for example, Milwaukee is going to Ireland. I understand that, right? Ireland, or is it Northern Ireland? I don't remember. Okay.
I'm trying to pull up the schedule thing.
I believe it was Belfast, which would make it Northern Ireland.
Yes.
Huh.
They are. Yeah, see, I think you guys are. Yeah, Milwaukee's playing, 2 teams out of there or something like that? 2 games in Northern Ireland?
Yeah, a couple games, yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, that's.
I've got Oakland's coming out to play in UNLV. I saw that. I have seen that one.
Okay.
My guys are gone from UNLV, so I don't have a reason to go to Vegas anymore.
What? Oh, wait. Yeah, that's true, because you have because is Rob Jeter still at UNLV or no? No. Well, Jordy Johnson graduated. Mm-hmm. And Rob's now the lead assistant at Minnesota. Okay, yeah, so, I forgot. That's right. I forgot he went to Minnesota. Yes, Rob Jeter, the former the head coach at Milwaukee, of which Jimmy. Yeah, if we talk any more about this, we'll have a conversation. Jimmy will have a discussion about this that we know will end badly, and we'll mention individuals that he doesn't want to talk about.
Ryan, the pain of having to listen to me wax poetic about UWM basketball.
Yeah. So, by the way, Jimmy, I know you just jumped in. The 2 jerseys that Brian is missing out of the Horizon League are IUPUI and Wright State, of all people.
Yeah.
Oh, I can get. I'll talk to Sharif. We can make that happen.
Nice.
Wow. Sharif Chambliss was an assistant for us. In fact, he was a grad assistant when I was in school. Played for the Badgers. Actually played for Penn State first, then the Badgers. For that 1 year, he was one of those original 1-year players. Transferred in conference to Madison. Funny that Bo Ryan had no problem with somebody coming into his team.
Right.
But we had a little bit of problem with Brust going out. Anyways, but Sharif played there, did a grad assistant for Milwaukee with Jeter, and then went to what was it that he went to from there? He was at in France at somewhere in the middle of South Carolina, bounced around some places. He was on our staff as a like Dobo for 1 year or 2 years, and then he was he became an assistant coach, legit. And then after that was done, then he became then he just moved to Wright State. So he got that Wright State job with Scotty, who's did such a great job at South Dakota State, and he's on staff there in Wright State. Wright State's going to do a lot of great things. So.
Yeah, like I was saying, I've got to just shout out to the Department of Neurology at the Boonshoff School of Medicine at Wright State. So it's so awesome that I can like pair this, with all of the medical schools of so many of these schools that just save lives and give hope to so many folks with epilepsy. It's awesome.
Oh, good. No, we don't. Yeah, we were also having a conversation. We also mentioned I'm glad you know somebody else over at Wright State, because as we know, Jimmy, Bob Grant is not a fan apparently.
Not a fan of me. Oh, I mean, it was like one joke and he banned me. I'm sure he doesn't even remember who I am.
I wrote an entire column lamenting him cutting men's and women's swimming, and he still hasn't blocked me. So I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you're far more abrasive than me, which would be a weird thing.
I think we all know that I'm far more abrasive than most people, but
yes.
I forget.
So, unfortunately,
I think I'm a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, Sour Patch Kids, maybe. Kind of walked into that.
You don't like Sour Patch Kids?
They're sour at the beginning and the sweet at the end. There you go.
Is that what you give, like, the kids with the bad costumes at trick-or-treating? Because I always give the ones with the good costumes, like, Butterfingers or Snickers, and the ones with, the kinds of, like, that you get, like, crows or dots or, like, something like that.
No, man, no, sorry. You give them fruit, okay? I mean, there are some people. See, that's the thing about or you give them circus peanuts. There you go. Nobody likes circus peanuts.
Oh boy!
I'm apparently the only person in America who I will say this. I am the only person in America who seems to have no problem with circus peanuts. Everybody else is like, it's like eating styrofoam. Well, yeah, but.
It's like the way they expand, and it's the way they expand in your mouth. It's just nasty.
Okay,
I don't like beets either.
I must be eating circus peanuts wrong then.
Well, maybe you're the only one that's eating them right.
That could be it too.
The entire circus peanut industry is reliant on Bob McDonald eating.
My eating process of eating circus peanuts. There we go. So, maybe I could get to a point where it is no longer the source of ridicule, but I'm gonna venture to guess that's gonna be a fruitless journey.
When I was a kid, there was a house. When I was a kid, there was a house that always gave nickels. No candy. They would just always give nickels.
Here you go. That's how much I would have paid for this candy bar. Here you go. Get off.
I didn't say anything when I heard that there were going to be some kids egging that house later that night.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say I could have. The bad things happen when you didn't do nothing.
Yikes.
I didn't do anything to stop that from happening. I was also angry.
What can you even get with 5 cents anymore? What do you mean seriously? Or
back then I get 5 Tootsie Rolls because I'm only 31. I'm not that old. Like I'm old enough to have had like a drugstore on the corner and not like a Walgreens, but like an actual drugstore. It's called Triangle Drugs. They had a whole counter where you could get like Tootsie Rolls, like the special like flavored Tootsie Rolls, which I like better. They're all gumballs and Jawbreakers. They're all a penny a piece.
Okay, really? Yeah. Because I'm way older than you. I'm way older. Not that old. I'm older. I'll be 44 soon. It's gonna be great. And the convenience there, because we got the mom and pops convenience stores that were around the corner from my junior high school, and they had the I don't know if they were a nickel though, but they had the stuff like the lemon heads and the Boston baked beans and I don't know if
and now it's like Now it's like a buck and a half for like a small bag of those things.
No. There are, in fact, if you go to the national franchise Five Below, those little boxes, man, they're still a quarter.
So we're talking about
that now and later and all that stuff.
Sure. Oh, good. Well, it might have a different like part of the country kind of thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of a different part of the country kind of thing, Brian.
Yeah.
How's everybody adjusting to being able to pump their own gas in Oregon now?
It's careful if you come. Just a forewarning. If you say Oregon to somebody here, now I don't care because I'm from Texas, yeah. But some people when people say Oregon, or one of my favorites, Oregon, I always just say pronounce it Orygun, Oregon, like that. So I know it sounds silly, but for whatever reason, like people, talk about that here sometimes, and people say it wrong. But just so you know, like out here, it is absolutely beautiful, even though it is hot right now, very hot.
Yeah.
But we love it here. There's like no humidity. It's paradise this time of year.
And I have a friend outside of Portland. My cousin lives in Portland. My cousins are like super like Portlandia level people.
For real, yeah. I mean, the Willamette Valley in general is just like one of the best places to be in the summertime. Even if it does get up to like 90 to 100, it's just there's like no humidity. It's perfect.
Gotta love that.
So
as far as adjusting to like, to what were you asking? If as far as how we're adjusting to pumping our own gas, huh?
Because I know there's only a couple states in the country that weren't doing it anymore, and Oregon was one. Oregon was one.
Oregon.
I saw everybody throwing a fit on Facebook about it.
Huh? I don't. As far as I know, when we go, we're still having the attendant come and pump the gas. So I don't know if that's something that's changed, and I don't know about it, which is entirely possible because I'm so focused on college athletics that sometimes I just forget about things that are happening even just in the state. But I think we're still getting our gas pumped for us. I actually like pumping my own gas personally, though. I enjoy it.
I don't know. I've never. I think. See, that would weird me. I don't know. I don't know because I'm so used to pumping my own gas. That would probably weird me out a little bit. I don't know.
Another thing about here that's weird is we have no sales tax. So like what you see on like the sign, that's what it is as far as price goes. So you see folks come across the river from Washington, or as local folks around here pronounce Washington. They come across the Columbia River and come and get their dinner with no sales tax. So.
Hey, there you go. Hey, that helps. Yeah, so.
Kind of nice. I had no idea that there was no sales tax for there.
Yep. Oregon, I think Montana, and as an East Coast state, maybe Delaware, I think is the other one.
Huh.
There you go.
Yep.
Think about that.
I know in Maryland they also say Washington.
Yes.
My sister lived in Maryland, and those people have just the most idiotic accents I've ever heard in my life.
It's hilarious.
Certain parts of Pennsylvania too, by the way. My father-in-law, if I understand it correctly, is one of them. Yeah. So, So that's very strange that. Yeah. Well, all right. I don't know. I don't ever say Oregon like ever. It's always Oregon to me. I don't know.
What's funny is that I mentioned my cousin was living in Portland. And she told me it was Oregon. So
weird.
Well, I don't talk to her anymore anyways, so I might as well just, forget about
it. Was she originally from Oregon?
No, she's from here in Wisconsin.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. I always say Wisconsin wrong, I think, so. I think I do anyway.
Fine right there.
Oh, yeah, I did? Okay, well, that's good.
There you go.
Sometimes, yeah.
would pronounce Wisconsin wrong?
Well, we get a lot of people say Wisconsin. Normally,
people.
Well, I feel
ESPN College Game Day.
I feel like I'm saying like Wisconsin too much, with too much of an aw sound, instead of Wisconsin. Shouldn't it be a little bit of an ah sound? I don't know.
We have a stupid accent too, because we don't say bag, we say bag.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah, definitely. Or egg. Yeah.
I got a buddy who moved here. My roommate actually moved up here from Texas, and he's originally from San Diego. And the first time he heard somebody say bag, he just started like laughing uncontrolled.
I'm laughing uncontrollably now. What are you talking about?
What can I do?
I don't know. It's the accent thing is always weird for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because, according to the world, I live in the area that has like the most like accent neutral. Accent neutral is most accent neutral on the planet, I guess.
I always thought that was the case too, but then I would start learning that. I started to learn that even in the Midwest, certain places, that they're less and less. But I guess it's the middle of Illinois, like Peoria area or something. That's supposed to be like the accent that's that actors always do on like TV.
Really?
Like that's the accent. Is that because we're all somewhat pretty close around here, but that's like the accepted like accent for actors and actresses to catch on.
Yeah. Plus, so makes sense. Even though I don't think anybody's ever been to Peoria.
I've been to Peoria.
All right, I'm sure you haven't.
I've been to Peoria. It's actually really cool. If you're ever looking for if you ever come into a ton of money and you want to go like instead of just getting 351 jerseys, Brian, but you want to go visit 351 campuses, Bradley in Peoria is actually pretty cool.
Nice.
We played them in the bracket 10 years ago.
I actually do not have Bradley's. Don't have their jersey yet either. So.
Well, then there you go. All the reason more to visit Peoria.
There we go. Can't wait.
Brian Wardle will get one. You just gotta run some ladders until you shit yourself, and then he'll be happy.
Nice.
Oh.
That's funny.
Are you familiar with what we're talking about, Brian?
The Brian Wardle saga.
So yeah, there's a player when Brian Wardle's head coach at Green Bay, he got in trouble because there were some former players that were saying that he was kind of ridiculous with the level of what conditioning that he was having them do. There was a player, even a player on the team that said that he had defecated in his clothes and made him finish his runs. Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was I think it was like right about when I think it was right near the end because I think it was Rob Domofsky from the Press Gazette.
Yeah.
He was still the beat writer for Green Bay.
Wow.
And the words that you were searching for is that's a really shitty thing to do.
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, I think he was the one who broke it, and then he ended up I think he's at ESPN.com now, covering the.
Yeah, no, he's ESPN. Now he's the ESPN Packer writer.
Yeah.
And he's on SportsCenter every time. How Ed Werder is always on when they're talking Vikings.
Someone ESPN didn't fire.
Yeah. As far as I know, yeah. I think Rob's still there.
Wow.
Rob's a heck of a writer.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Press Gazette.
Rob was the
There were actually people actually like rolled up to his house and berated him in front of his family outside because of the reporting that he was doing on that story.
Yeah. Oh
Yikes.
yeah, I forgot about that part. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then magically and then after all of that, Brian Wardle actually he didn't get. Did anything actually happen to him? Because I think the only thing that actually happened was he actually resigned to go take the Bradley job. I don't think anything happened to him.
I remember when Bradley offered Rob the job. That eventually went to what's his face from Toledo.
Todd Kowalczyk.
No. The guy that Kowalczyk replaced.
Oh,
Gino Ford. Right? Gino Ford, right?
Oh man, yeah, Gino Ford.
Gino.
Okay, yeah. Oh man,
That's right.
Because Gino.
I remember correctly. I think Rob was offered like $600,000 to go coach at Bradley, and he ended up turning it down. That was March or April 2011.
Yikes.
It was right after the three-way co-champions in the Horizon. Where it was Butler was still winning in the tournament at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a really cool town. That's why I brought up Bradley specifically. Like it was like going to a small Big Ten town, which I'm sure Eugene is a lot like Madison or Columbus.
It's got its moments like that, sure. College town vibe. Corvallis, too, very much so. Even more so, actually, because it's a smaller town where, like, the Oregon State University is, like, the most significant part of the town, basically. So Eugene is obviously very much like that as well. Pullman, Washington State Cougars as well. So, sure.
So, are you pretty close to Pullman?
I want to say we're about 500 miles, 600 miles, just thereabouts. You have to go up through the Palouse to get there.
It sounds like a long. Everything's so much further out west from each other.
It really is. It really is. That's the thing that gets a lot of people is like even here in the Willamette Valley where we are, distances are kind of like what normal East Coast distances would be. But if you want to go even to like Central Oregon, like Bend or Sun River, which is a popular tourist destination from here, I mean it takes almost half a day. So I mean it's distances are just way far. And if you want to go to like Boise, Idaho, yeah, I mean you're traveling for a day. So it's crazy how far everything is out here for sure.
And meanwhile, we're sitting here half of us in Ohio complain about going up to Green Bay for basketball games.
That's like an 8 hour.
It's probably the same amount. It's probably the same amount of all the Horizon League schools are probably within about 500 miles of each other from end to end.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and so that you have like even different places in your own state that are 500 miles away. Or just it's cross state. That's
kind of crazy to us. Yeah.
Yeah. We're spoiled. What can I say?
Totally are.
When's the next flight? Oh, there is no flight. Get in the car. So Brian, where can people reach you? I mean, not just people, obviously. All the other individuals who have yet to get jerseys to you. The goal is 353 now. So
right.
So we're 227, and we want to get you to 353 here.
So as far as the best way to reach me, Twitter is probably the best. I mean, I'm on Twitter, even if I'm not posting, I'm reading a lot. So that's probably the best way. 353 Jerseys for Hope is my Twitter handle. So, if you don't have that, I mean, I have email too. But that's the best way to reach me right now. It's how I stay in touch with as many people as possible.
Great, yeah. And again, Brian, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
And we know you got the surgery coming up, and we send our best wishes, obviously, and we wish you all the best on achieving your hope, your dream here of getting the jerseys, and then getting to that next step.
Well, thank you guys for having me and helping me share my message, and just looking forward to the season. It's going to be so much fun.
It really is, yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Brian, and of course, as always, for those of you you can catch the podcast on sportshacks.com, hax.com, and you can find us wherever you find podcasts. You know the list already: iTunes, TuneIn, Google Play, Pocket Cast, Timbuktu. That's not one, but you know which one. So, all right. Well, thank you guys.
Can we get
for
on
listening.
Tidal? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's get on Tidal. Somebody called Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Let's get on Tidal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's gonna. Yeah, good luck. But all right. But yes. But everywhere else besides. Yeah. So, but thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.